and welcome to day 7 of the 14-day Pilates challenge. Thank you so much for joining myself and also Rupert here today. So make sure you've got plenty of space at home, a Pilates mat, a bit of peace and quiet for the next 15 minutes as we do some Pilates stretches. So we've been really working hard, we're halfway there through the challenge. So today we're just going to take a good few minutes just to stretch out those muscles, because stretching is just as important as also moving and exercising and working those muscles. Okay, so when you're ready, let's come on to our backs. Just bring the knees into the chest. You can hug and rock from side to side. It's a nice bit of a massage on that lower back actually. Good, and then place the hands on the knees and let's just draw some circles. Just open up those hips nice and gently. And then change the direction. Good, and then back to centre. Okay, we're going to go into a glute stretch. So can you place one foot over the opposite knee? Just push that hip away, feel that stretch right in that deep hip, so you're pushing that knee away, feeling that hip stretch, and then we're going to reach through and draw both knees towards the chest. And you should be feeling a nice stretch in that bottom cheek. Good, hold it there, continue to breathe. So think inhale through your nose and exhale out through the mouth. So with all of these stretches, there will be bits of mild discomfort, but never any pain. If there's any pain, then please do stop. But with a stretch, it's not always the most comfortable, but it is incredibly beneficial. If you want to increase that into a hamstring stretch as well, you can extend the other leg up towards the ceiling. Hands can either stay where they are, or they can reach above that knee. Just make sure you're not pulling that knee. And then keep the toes pointing towards the nose, so a bit of a calf, hamstring, glute stretch. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently untangle, bring it down. Good, let's go on to the other side. So other foot over, just push that knee away. Just feel that little stretch in that hip. And then from there, reach through, draw the knees towards you. Try and relax the neck and the shoulders. See whether you can just increase that, or if you want, you can come into that hamstring. So drawing that leg up towards the ceiling, hands can either stay where they are or go above the knee. Point the toes towards the nose. Good, hold it there. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Okay, come into a full body stretch. So lengthen yourself out, reach the fingertips or reach those toes. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, draw one knee in towards the chest. Hold that stretch. If you want to ease out the ankle, actually, you can as well. Hopefully not too many clicks. Change the direction of the ankle. Good, and then we're going to go for a little bit of a spine twist into a glute stretch as well. So from here, we're going to drop that knee down towards the floor. So a bit of a spine stretch in the bottom cheek, in that lower back. And then with that free hand, you can place it to the side and look that direction. So really try and sink into that mat, try and relax those muscles. And then inhale. On the exhale, we're going to come back into our full body stretch. Lengthen yourself out. Extend the fingers, extend those toes. Nice big inhale. And then on the exhale, reach through, grab the other knee, draw that towards you. Same again, if you want to ease out the ankle, you can. And then from there, we're going to bring that knee down towards the floor for that bottom cheek stretch into that lower back. And then with that free hand, you can place it out to the side, look that direction. Hello, Rupert. He's a very good boy, most of the time. Good, breathe, sink into that mat. And then inhale. On the exhale, let's bring it back to centre. Good. Okay, from here, we're going to very slowly come up to a seated position. Good. Do take your time. Do take your time. Lovely. Okay. We're going to drop down those knees, bring the feet together. Just going to open up those hips. So from here, we're going to inhale on the exhale, hands on the feet. I'm just going to lean forward into that stretch, just opening up those hips. Good, keep breathing. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Good. Okay, whilst we're here, extend one leg. Relax this leg. We're just going to go into a lower back stretch. So you're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lean up and to the side. Reach as far as you comfortably can, and then you should be feeling a nice stretch in that lower back there. Good. And try and look up towards the ceiling. Brilliant. So you've got a really big muscle for that lower back there, what we call the QL, the quadratus lumboris, and that's what we're stretching out. We use that muscle every day, all the time. It's good to strengthen it, and it's good to stretch it out as well. And then inhale, on the exhale, gently release. Good. I'm just going to shuffle across because we're going to do the other leg. So bend this leg, extend the other leg. Okay, inhale. On the exhale, up and lean. Good. Reach as far as you comfortably can. See whether you can open up that lower back. Look up towards the ceiling. Good. I know it's not the most comfortable of stretches, but it will be very beneficial. Try and relax, try and breathe into that stretch. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Oh, fantastic. Good. Okay, from there, we're going to go into a bit of a quad stretch. So if you come onto your fronts, and then how we go, we're going to reach for our heel, relax the upper body. You can relax the head down if you want. Try and push that hip into the mat, and you should be feeling a nice stretch on the front of the thigh. Keep holding, keep breathing. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Good. Okay, other hand out in front. Reach for the other leg. Reach for that ankle. Same again, try and push that hip in towards the mat for that stretch down the front of that thigh. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Good. Okay, from here, let's take it up into child's pose. So take it up and back. If you want to open up those hips, have a wider stance with the knees. Take a seat back. Good. Just hold that stretch there. Really reach those fingertips as far as you comfortably can. Bring the thumbs together so they're touching, and you should feel the upper back muscles have a nice stretch. Good, and then inhale. On the exhale, gently bring it back up. Okay, up into an all fours position. We're just going to go for a cat and cow stretch. Stretch out all of those back muscles. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale into your arch. Exhale into your round. Squeeze that core round, that back as much as you can. Inhale into your arch. Exhale into your round. Okay, one more of these. Lovely. Okay, from here we're going to go into a bit of a downward dog. So if you're able to, we're going to give the feet a bit of a pedal out and feel that stretch in the back of those calves. So just take your time, give the feet a bit of a pedal out. If you want to hold it there for a little bit longer, just to really feel those calf muscles stretch, you can. Try and breathe into it. Okay, let's go one more either side. And then gently bring it back down. Good. Okay, from here, we're going to bring one leg out in front. And we're going to tuck under our tailbone. And you should, very small movement, you should feel a nice stretch on the front of that thigh. So we're stretching out the hip flexor. If you want to increase it, you can lean gently forward. And then if you wanted to, we're going to stretch out our shoulder as well. So a little bit of thinking going on. So if you're able to, we're going to bring one arm across and we're going to hold that stretch there. And we should be stretching out that shoulder. Good, so try and sink into that hip flexor. Draw that shoulder across. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Good, okay, let's go on to the other side. So find that balance, other knee. And then tiny little tuck under with that tailbone. Push it forward if you can. And then bring that other arm across if you'd like to. Stretch out that shoulder. And then inhale. On the exhale, bring it back together. Good, okay. So we're going to come up into a seated position. If you did want to be in a kneeling position instead, just to stretch out the backs of your feet, you can. I quite like to, just to really stretch out my feet because I tend to be on my feet a lot of the time, and I'm sure you do as well. So we're going to round the back, chin to the chest. We're going to round that back as much as we can, try and separate those shoulder blades. Just hold it here, separate those shoulder blades, chin to the chest. Really stretch out the upper back muscles. And then inhale. On the exhale, take the hands behind. We're going to open up the chest. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then inhale. On the exhale, release. Good. Just do a few shoulder rolls for me. Hopefully not too many clicks in those shoulders, and then change the direction. Good, and back to centre. Okay, ease out that neck. You can look from side to side. You can go for a full head circle. You can look up and down. I don't mind. Whatever feels nice just to finish off with. Make sure you go both directions though. And then let's come into a neck stretch. So bring that neck to one side, fingertips on top. So you should be opening up that neck all the way into that shoulder. And if you adjust that chin, you'll find that stretch move. So find where you'd like that stretch. And then inhale. On the exhale, let's go on to the other side. Same again, find where you'd like that stretch, move that chin. And then inhale. On the exhale, gently release. Lovely. Brilliant, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me for day 7 Pilates stretches. As I say, we're halfway through. Please do keep going, persevere, because you will feel so good after the 14-day Pilates challenge. So do power through. Please continue to stretch if you would like to. You can never stretch enough. So have a fantastic rest of the day. And hopefully we will see you soon, and we will see you tomorrow.